But the real difference here in men is he's a businessman and I'm a fucking Spartan.
Wladimir, you've got some cheek to come back after all these years and open your big mouth. You never landed a punch or took all your belts off you. Look, these used to belong to you, Mush. Now they belong to me. You useless tosser. Keep on dreaming.
That is the counterpunch from Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, for what Wladimir Klitschko has blasted him with. This is typical. It's, it's chess. It ain't checkers. Tyson Fury's his way of saying, hey, you guys keep dreaming. You guys keep dreaming. You keep believing that, why are you coming back now after all this time? You should have stayed in the cupboard or whatever. And, as I explained, though, Wladimir Klitschko has every right, and Wladimir Klitschko in his position, it reminds me so much of Oscar De La Hoya's position with Floyd, Money Mayweather, right? Because Floyd owed Oscar De La Hoya a rematch, which was it was a much closer fight. I mean, that was actually a close fight. A lot of people thought the Golden Boy took it, but he never got it. Floyd retired, right? And then he came back later the year and fought Ricky Hatton. He fought Ricky Hatton, then he retired. And then, Oscar De La Hoya never got his shot. And then, of course, he fought Manny and he got retired, just kind of like Anthony retired with Klitschko, because Klitschko was waiting on Tyson Fury, right? So I can understand, like, those guys, the bitterness where it comes, so if anything. But the bitterness does come at a legitimate reason, okay? There's reason for you, or for Wladimir, in this case, to be bitter. Because you're talking about a guy that, first of all, was doubted. He was doubted, okay, definitely. He was doubted as a heavyweight. He wasn't going to stand a chance against AJ. He was going to get knocked out by AJ or someone with some power when he goes up, someone with some size when he goes up, and that did not happen. So if you were going to hate on anybody, it would be Alexander Usyk, and that's what Tyson Fury did, because Tyson Fury does not want to give him credit for beating Anthony Joshua the way he did, obviously. So what do? You discredit the win. Again, it's just like Floyd, Money Mayweather did to Pacquiao. Okay, when Pacquiao knocked out or stopped Cotto in the 11th round and he retired Oscar De La Hoya, and then Ricky Hatton got knocked out cold by Pacquiao. That's when those rumors started. And this is no different. You got a smaller guy, southpaw, honest, humble, God-fearing guy like Usyk's coming there and whacking bigger guys a lot bigger than him and showing him, hey, this is my skill. I'm gifted and I'm smaller, but I'm still able to hang with you guys. And this is what I'm able to do with a totally different division that I just came upon. Okay? And I guess it's time for Tyson Fury to throw that salt and, throw shade, because he knows, like, hey, Alexander Usyk is that guy that more than likely his ass is going to face. So if I'm going to do anything, I might as well throw some verbal warfare at Alexander Usyk now, so it may get to him later. Of course, Usyk doesn't reply to any of that, and I have a video that's showing how he doesn't give no fucks about Tyson Fury's comments. But but those were earlier comments, so I'll have that video out to you soon. But this one will be now, okay? But I do think there's a lot of similarities in there, and I know why Tyson Fury's doing that. And him saying that about Wladimir Klitschko. Well, hey, Klitschko, hey, you're just bitter. You lost. Get over it. Where the hell you been hiding? What rock have you been under? And why the hell did you come up under that rock? Well, Wladimir Klitschko had to. Why? Because for one, he had to protect his countrymen, which he rarely does do with Alexander Usyk. Because he wasn't there at that fight. Vitali was there to support Usyk at that fight, but he wasn't. But so he had to say something. But he said it especially because it was Tyson Fury, because he has vested interest in Fury. Why? Because Fury fucked him over. Fury is the reason why Wladimir Klitschko's bitter. I think Fury is the reason Wladimir Klitschko beat the shit out of Anthony Joshua. Because everything that Anthony Joshua took, that's exactly what Tyson Fury should have took. And that's what he's supposed to have been facing. A very much more aggressive Wladimir Klitschko. Okay? A guy that's ready to take your head off. A guy that is focused. A guy that's saying, hey, that won't happen again, I promise you. And then what do? You run the fuck off and do a bunch of coke. Okay? So that just shows you the confidence in that. Sure, what you did one time, but can you defend the belt? Do you understand it? You know? So, yeah, the counterpunch from Tyson Fury. Yeah, you lost, you useless Dalsa. But you didn't beat that useless Dalsa like you're supposed to, according to the contract. Okay? He did that with Wilder, but Wilder's no Wladimir. All right? So that's the difference between those two guys. They're on two different levels. The only difference is Wilder is fighting currently right now, and Wladimir, as of, another generation, he's gone. He's retired. So, him saying that, hey, you should go away and this and that. Well, maybe, Tyson, you should stop saying shit that's not true or you can't prove before you end up in court. Because, just because Tyson Fury didn't lay into a lot of YouTubers like he should have, like people was expecting, the defamation bid, doesn't mean someone won't do that shit to him. Because it won't have to be Wladimir Klitschko himself personally. It could be one of his team. It could be his promoter that files that lawsuit on Tyson Fury. Now he's looking at a whole different bunch of trouble, but for good reason. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this counterpunch from Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, to Wladimir Klitschko for his comments defending his countryman Alexander Usyk. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.